Well, I can tell you that Jimmy Hill wasn't there. Ray Wilkins, of course, wasn't. Good afternoon, gentlemen. But I bet you know the score and the scorer, do you, Jim?
A chap called W.H. Smith with a penalty kick. I'd say it was left-footed for Huddersfield Town.
Quite right. Now, the team's coming out. A thought on today's match, Jim?
Well, both teams really in the league have been consistent in their inconsistency, really. Both managers searching for something better and haven't quite found it yet. So only an idiot would predict the result of this match, so I'm going to do it and say that having walked over the pitch in my new shoes, I think it favours the heavy horses, and there are more of those in the Chelsea team against the better passing side.
But Ray, I know you think that away teams sometimes have an advantage here, don't you, at Stamford Bridge?
Definitely, especially in the cup, Jim. Normally when you go away to ground, the crowd's on top of you, and for the first 20 minutes, you actually feel as if you're surrounded by players. But here, with the stands being further away from the pitch, it's less intimidating.
So you're inclined to go Everton's way this afternoon?
I'm inclined to, yes.
Okay.
But whether it be this afternoon, I don't know.
All right, there we are then. We hope there'll be goals. It was 2-2 in the league here. It's difficult job forecasting goals in this business. Nonetheless, we'll go out on a limb and say we'll see some this afternoon. Now let's hear from our commentary team. Trevor Brooking, and first, John Motson.
Thanks very much, Desmond. Who would have thought we would have reached this point on FA Cup weekend without a single First Division team through to the fifth round? But that's the way it is, and the winners of this game, if there is a winner, will be one of the first. So let's check on the two lineups. For Chelsea, number 6, Jason Cundy, has recovered from flu and resumes in defence. At number 7, Graham Lasso is preferred to Graham Stewart, who drops to substitute. And when we look at the formation that Chelsea play, it's basically a 4-4-2 with Vinnie Jones and Andy Townsend supplying the midfield aggression. Kerry Dixon, who hasn't been scoring, and Clive Allen, who definitely has, are the front two. Now, Everton had to make at least one change because Mo Johnston is unfit, Tony Cottee is in at number 9, and Pat Nevin, formerly of Chelsea, is at number 7. Late doubts over defenders Matthew Jackson and Dave Watson cleared up, so let's check on the way we think Everton will play. Very much 4-4-2 again, with Everell and Ward competing in those central midfield slots, Beardsley and Cottee up the middle, Peter Beagrie on the left, and lots of interest here at Stamford Bridge in the reappearance on the right of number 7, Pat Nevin. He hasn't started an Everton first-team game since the 2nd of November, but he had 5 very good years here as a Chelsea player and was a very popular figure at Stamford Bridge. Well, to my right, a man who's already had one game today. He was on the field this morning. He's now in the commentary box. Your thoughts briefly before the kick-off. Trevor Brooking.
Well, you saw a bit of a glimpse of the pitch. There's no problem with the frost. It's quite soft to take a nice stud, and if anything, it'd be a bit lumpy, so the ball might just bobble along, and we might see 1 or 2 early shinners from the players, but hopefully I think we're in for a good game.
Well, we saw one young man there who was having a good day. 7-year-old Stephen Shepherd, who you just saw go off from Essex, is the mascot. And on the field now, Everton all in yellow. The game to be refereed this afternoon by a former Cup final official, Keith Hackett of Sheffield. And Chelsea, I'm sure you don't need telling, all in blue, because Everton, of course, playing in their change strip. Really has turned out into a very pleasant afternoon here in West London. 10 there was Ward, tackled by Jones. And it should be quite tasty in the midfield area, I would think. The Chelsea goalkeeper is Kevin Hitchcock. Dave Besant is still not quite fit, and Hitchcock played very well in the midweek match at Southampton. I think he was about the only Chelsea player who did on their own admission. Kerry Dixon up there with Martin Keown, and it's a free kick to Everton. Dixon's gone some 9 games without a goal, but when strikers get into that sort of spell, you know, with a record like his, it's going to end sooner or later. Driven forward by Watson for Everton, header back was by Jones. Goal kick. What do you think the key areas are going to be here, Trevor? What are you looking for early on?
I think eventually the wide people will play a big part in the game. I would have said the wide people will play a big part in this particular game, because Graham Lasso on the left and Dennis Wise playing on the right today.